There are certain guidelines about the clothes that we're going to let an 11-year-old wear. She doesn't think there's anything wrong with showing 3 or 4 or 5 inches of her stomach.
Oh, that's so bad. It's like the worst thing ever.
All right, today we're debating girls' fashion and should it be more mild or wild. Now, my next guest, Diane, says that they never had one problem at home until their 11-year-old wanted more say in what she could wear. Now, her daughter Megan says that her mom and dad are just old-fashioned and they just need to get with it, with the times.
Do we understand that we do not wear this bathing suit stretched all the way out looking like this?
I'm 11 years old, and my mom doesn't approve of some of the ways that I dress.
Megan, my husband, and I are in conflicts regarding clothing.
Megan is 11 going on 22. It seems like Megan is going up too fast.
There are certain guidelines about the clothes that we're going to let an 11-year-old wear. She wants to wear what we call belly shirts. She doesn't think there's anything wrong with showing 3 or 4 or 5 inches of her stomach.
If my shirt doesn't come down long enough, my mom thinks, oh, that's so bad. It's like the worst thing ever.
She thinks that it's okay to wear micro mini skirts, spaghetti strap tops with your bra strap showing. We don't think that we should be showing our underwear under any circumstances.
My friends' parents are younger than my parents, and I think that does influence them a lot.
Yeah, you don't be such an old fogey. You were back in the 50s to 2007.
Megan recently left the house wearing a skirt. A couple hours later, I saw Megan and her friend walking on the sidewalk, and her skirt was 8 inches shorter than when she left the house.
I don't want to look like an outcast. That's not like what's in it. Everybody just like kind of notices it. Fashion is important to me because it's a way to show people who I am. I don't want my mom deciding it because it's not Megan and her mom, it's Megan.
I don't want people to look at her as a floozy or a sleazy, and I would like her image to be most comfortable.
Okay, do you think they have a point at all, or do you think they're just so out of tune?
I think they just are too old-fashioned and they don't understand.
Do you know how it affects men that might see you? What do you guys think?
I think that my age has nothing to do with what I want my daughter to wear. I think that...
It's okay, you got a room full of moms out there, all right?
I think that she does not understand the consequences of what other people perceive her as. But my other main concern is I want Megan to strive to project an image that her clothes are not affecting. I want her friends to say, when they think of Megan, isn't she a great kid? Isn't she a good student? Isn't she a good friend? Not, there goes Megan. She's dressed in the latest fashion. She looks just like Britney Spears.
Where do you get the suggestions for what you want to wear?
Well, most of the things my friends wear and most like in magazines, but if I see something in a store and I hold it up to me or I try it on and I think it's cute, that's my opinion. It's mostly everybody else doesn't say, oh, that's cute, Diane. I say, oh, okay, that's cute. If I don't think it's cute, I don't think it's cute.
All right, let me take a break. Coming up, Diane says that she's just concerned that she's going to send the wrong message and it can have ramifications. Does she need to ease up? I mean, is Megan right that her parents are just being too conservative and don't understand the world that she lives in? We're going to try to reconcile that and bring them together to come back.
She gets attention from boys. This one is my boyfriend. She gets all the boys she wants because she tries to just show off her body. I was her, I should wear like this because color's kind of your neck. It's not really good to show your tummy because you might get burnt. My mom wouldn't let me have my stomach showing. Yes, I know chocolate to do. I think this part looks a little bit tight because you can't do curtain heels. Usually after high school, sometimes they wore skirts that are about right here, and the principal actually sent a bunch of detention.
All right, that was an experiment we did to see how young girls would react to the same model wearing 2 different outfits. Now, surprisingly, they picked the modest one almost across the board. Now, Diane says that her 11-year-old daughter isn't following family rules when it comes to how they dress. Megan says that her parents are just old-fashioned. Dad, where do you come down on this?
Well, this lady here made a comment that she's buying her children's clothes. That's going to stop shortly. Okay? I'm not allowed. I go to the mall. I sit out with the guys out. I'm not allowed in the stores. Okay? She comes home and I get in trouble. She brings bags of clothes and her mom says, "Where did you get that?" "Dad got it from me." Okay, and it's something I can fit her outfit in my pockets. I hire 15 or 20, 18 to 25-year-old young men, and I'm going to tell you something, girls. They're looking at that. That's turning them on, and they're talking about it, and it's, "Yo, there's my, oh," I'm telling you, it's the culture. I'm telling you, that's what they're talking about. If you don't believe me, okay, I'm around these young guys, and I have young daughters. I can't bring my daughters to the office.
What kind of business you in? Isn't the truth that you stand your ground and you cave in because she's got you wrapped around her little finger?
Yeah,
Yeah, so you just gonna fess up on that.
I have to because I wouldn't be lying.
Yeah, so, I mean, truly, you guys have to be together. But look, here's the thing. This is a negotiation. I mean, it really is. You think, well, shouldn't we be negotiating with an 11-year-old child? To the extent that you can, to the extent that you can sit down and discuss it and make some compromises where you give some, both of you give some, then that's a good thing to do. I hate dealing with ultimatums. It's better if you can come up with something that both sides can live with. And we have to remember, clothes and hair are transient. Now, we've got two sons, and one of them, Jay, is 27, soon to be 28, and he's always been kind of preppy. Now, our younger son, Jordan, is a rock and roll dude. I mean, he plays lead guitar in a rock band in L.A., and he'll come in, what did he have last, a mohawk?
Yes.
He came in last with a mohawk.
And it was
I've got a
purple.
reverse mohawk, so I figured this was total rebellion. But he came in with a mohawk, and then he came in, didn't he have polka dot hair one time?
Yes, I think he did dot it one time. But I thought he was adorable. I just thought he was adorable in it.
I don't know, do we have like a picture of him? You have to understand that he's the same kid, whether he has a mohawk or pink dots in his hair, or like it is 90% of the time, which is kind of a crew cut type thing. He's the same kid, and if he wants to go through that, we don't mind. I mean, he's still respectful. He still does all the things that he's supposed to do. He's a junior in college. Everything still keeps clicking along. And I think as parents, we have to look at that. And with us, there's a pretty narrow road in terms of his advancing himself in terms of preparation for life. Getting his education, continuing to be respectful, doing the things that he needs to do as a good citizen. It's a broader road on how he looks while he's doing it. What kind of young lady do you have here as a daughter as far as a student and as far as all the other aspects of her citizenship and member of this family?
Well, she is a straight A student.
Uh-huh.
She's also a type 1 diabetic, and
Uh-huh.
what she has done for 7 years, she takes care of all of her health. All the other aspects about her are wonderful, and that's why we are saying to ourselves, is this one issue that she is so passionate about, should we be giving her a little more leeway?
The answer is yes. You should be giving her more leeway because she is a good citizen. She is a straight A student. She manages her health, which is a real big problem. All of these things that her tone, her respect, all of that, you're very, very proud of. I think that earns some latitude in other areas. Not to the point that it compromises safety, not to the point that it compromises morality, not to the point that it compromises the core values that you embrace as a family, but certainly to the point that it's a judgment call, it's a subjective thing where it's just kind of would rather not, but it's not a huge deal. I wouldn't want her dressing in a way that would be a pedophile magnet or anything of the sort, because she doesn't even understand and know how to predict the consequences of that. However, I think you gotta lighten up some and give her a little leeway, and I think you'll find that she will bring some responsibility to that, just like she does every other part of her life.
You happy about that?
Now, with privilege comes responsibility, and you need to hear your dad in saying, there are certain things you can do that might get you attention you don't want. And so be creative and find ways to do what you want, staying within the bounds